okay? Your assignment today is to answer these questions on this form. You're probably on this form right now. But here's the deal. There's nowhere to show your work on this form. So what we're going to talk about is how you can be a really responsible student and write down your work on a piece of paper and really show your work and make sure you're practicing and doing the right steps to get these answers correct. So go find a piece of paper, go find something to write with. I would love for it to be a pencil so that you could erase your answers if necessary or erase your work if necessary, but please go find that. And then I'm going to show you how to make sure you get these written down well and clearly, because I know we haven't had a ton of practice with that this year since we are doing a lot of stuff online, but we can still work on it from home. All right, hopefully you have a piece of paper and a pencil. It does not have to be lined. Lines help me because I have kind of messy handwriting, and lines might help you, but I understand that not everybody has that. So we're going to do one problem on lined paper and one problem not on lined paper so you can see some strategies for keeping your work organized. So first step is to write your name in the box that says first name and last name. Make sure you actually do this, you guys. This is how I get your grade on these, so make sure you actually do that. Okay, the next problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to problem 1. I'm going to think to myself, okay, it says 6x equals 12. You might be able to do that in your head. You might need to be able to figure out what x is in your head. I still challenge you to write it down on the piece of paper. So write down on your piece of paper right now, 6x equals 12. 6x equals 12. Remember, the first step for solving these equations is to draw a fence. So really neatly draw your fence and make it go down a couple of lines so you have room to work. Try to make this as neat as possible because it will really help you with making sure you're completing the steps correctly if you're writing it well so you can actually read what's going on. Next, I see that it says 6x. To get rid of 6x, or not 6x, you want to keep the x, you want to get rid of the times 6, you are going to divide by 6. Watch how neatly I write this. Even though I don't normally have nice, neat handwriting, I'm going to try to write this really neatly. Divide by 6 on both sides. Divide by 6. Notice how I did not write divide by 6, divide by 6. No, that would be crazy. That would not help you. You want to write your dividing by 6 as neatly as possible. So take a second and make sure your paper matches my paper. All right, next. So I used the inverse operation of times 6. I divided by 6. That goes away. Cross it out neatly. Write your x directly below where it was before. So I'm going to write it right beneath where it was before, x. And then on this line still, I'm going to write my equal sign. And then I'm going to calculate 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 6. 6 fits into 12 2 times. So the answer is 2. So I come over here and I find the answer of 2. Okay, so right now what you should have is, you should have a piece of paper with this exact thing written down, the whole equation with all the steps, and now you can click the answer of x equals 2 for problem number 1, because your problem number 1 is the same as on here. I'm actually doing problems 1 and 3 with you. Okay, so that's problem number 1. Now, we're going to do problem number 3, and I'm going to show you how to stay really organized, even if you don't have lines. So what if all you have is a piece of printer paper? You're going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going down to problem number 3. You have to do problem 2 on your own. Please write down to problem number 2, solve it like we just solved it. I'm just going to go down to number 3 because it has division. Okay, so problem number 3. And you can write, sometimes it helps writing the number. I didn't do that on the last one, but it's probably a good idea. So problem number 3 says y divided by 2 equals 7. Now, there were no lines, so I'm kind of writing bigger than I would have on lined paper. But notice how I'm still keeping it in a good, nice straight line. I am not doing this. Oh my gosh, don't do that. Okay? Keep your work nice and organized. We want to write it as neatly as possible. I know it takes me time to write things really neatly. So please make sure you're doing that. Take the time. Try not to crumple your paper like I just did. Okay, here's our equation. I'm going to draw the line through the equal sign. I notice that it says y divided by 2. I want to get rid of dividing by 2, so I need to multiply by 2. Times 2 on that side and times 2 on that side. Again, notice how I didn't just like randomly put times 2. I didn't write it down here and up here. I didn't write it down here and over here. I wrote it right beneath the step above it. Okay, so now y divided by 2 times 2, those go away, and all I have left is y. I put my equal sign right in the middle again. And now it's time for me to calculate. 7 times 2. So 7 times 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 7 times 2 was 14. So y equals 14. So you guys have the answers to numbers 1 and 3. Number 3, you're going to come down here and click your answer of y equals 14. And go ahead. I want you to work on 2, 4, and 5. Write them down exactly like we did 1 and 3. And try the challenge problems if you want to work on some things with positives and negatives. Okay? Please stay organized in your work. We don't have a lot of practice with this year since we're only online. But this is a lot less annoying writing it down on paper than having to do it on Jamboard or having to use your mouse to do it. So I promise you, it'll be, when you get it back in person, it'll be a lot easier to write it down on a piece of paper than what it has been, because I know you've been having to kind of use your mouse and stuff like that. So try your best. Please write it down. I promise it'll help you solve these. Go ahead, guys. Good luck.